things you can be doing to level up and improve your living experience. Number one is assess your friends. You are the result of the 5 people you hang around the most. So when you are between 21 to 25, you might have some straggler friends from high school, straggler friends from college, people you met at your job, people you met partying. But between 25 and 35, now is the time to assess if those people are the folks that you want to be like. Are those the 5 people that you want to be around the most? Assess those friendships. Are those people actually there for you? Are they reciprocal relationships? If not, those are the people that you can, with love, move on from, right? Between 25 and 35 is the time to start whittling down your friendships only to those that feel mutually beneficial, supportive, and that, help you grow. Just saying. So, number 1, assess your friendships. Number 2, assess your romantic relationships. Your romantic relationship is the person you spend the most amount of time with outside of being at work, which means they influence your daily vibration. They influence how you feel. They influence how you think. So if you find yourself in a space in life where you feel thrown off and it's completely off track from what your plan was, maybe also assess your relationship. Is that relationship helping you meet your personal goals? Is it toxic? Is it hurting your mental health? Is it isolating you from family and friends? If any of those things are true, not healthy, right? So 25 to 35 is the time to shit or get off the pot, essentially, with your relationship. Is it moving forward? Have you been engaged forever? Have you been dating forever, right? 25 to 35, not the time to play. Ladies, you're losing eggs by the month. Just saying, not to pressure you, but it means that between those years, don't let people play with you and waste your time, right? So assess your friends, assess your relationships. Third is assess your career and or your business. Is this actually still important to you? Do you still care about it? Does it fulfill you? Does it make you happy? Or are you miserable doing said career or business? You have no idea how many people pivot between 25 and 35. Fun fact, Maya Angelou had like 4 different careers. Only one of them was a writer, right? Because technically you live pretty long. Think about it. If you started a career and you're 25, you could actually pivot careers every 10 years and still have another 3 or 4 or 5 careers in your lifetime. So if you find yourself between 25 and 35 and that thing is just not hitting, that business is not growing, you don't care about it, you hate your job, it wasn't the thing you wanted to do anyway, beloved, you are not a tree, you can move. Okay? Now, number 4, forgive your parents and yourself. This is a twofer and they go together. Here's why I say that. Your parents were just doing what they could. Okay? So maybe they hurt you. They probably didn't mean to. If they did, that's a different story. Either way, though, by the time you are 25, 30, 35, the responsibility of healing is on yourself. The paramount part of healing is forgiving your parents, because guess what? They were just doing what they knew with what they had, right? That is one of the biggest things I could do for my healing, and to free myself from saying, oh, my parents were X, Y, and Z, so I have issues. How long are you going to do that? Past 25, let's hang it up, right? So forgive your parents. They were just doing the best they could with what they knew. They're human beings and they're not perfect. And also remember that the way spirituality works, technically you picked them as a vessel to come through, but that's another video for another day. The forgiving yourself goes hand in hand because, number 1, forgive yourself for being hurt in situations that it wasn't your fault. Everyone likes to say, don't play the victim. Forgive yourself for having been the victim sometimes. Do you know that the human brain does not develop in your frontal lobe completely until you're 25, which means that under 25, the part of your brain that would be able to detect bullshit and people playing you actually isn't developed. So before 25, you go through a bunch of things and you tolerate a bunch of things that are not good for you. Forgive yourself. You literally didn't have the brain capacity to make the right decisions. So forgive your parents for the trauma they inflicted. Forgive yourself for the trauma that you showed up for or participated in because you obviously didn't mean to hurt yourself. Okay? And finally, therapy. Therapy, therapy, therapy. Baby, if you are between 25 and 35, please go to therapy. Because you have experienced things in your childhood that are affecting you. You experienced things in school, through high school, through college that affected you. You went out in the working world. You met some folks that affected you. You've been in some relationships. Maybe all of those weren't good. They affected you. Therapy. Because you know what therapy helps you do? Not set in stone toxic patterns for the next decade of your life. So yes, you may have accumulated some toxic shit up to the age of 25, but start that therapy, beloved, because you don't have to stick with that same trauma at 40 years old. And frankly, you don't want to. And again, you also want to go ahead and go to therapy because you don't want to pass that shit on to your kids. And between 25 and 35 is when people start having kids. So you want to go ahead and You know what I mean? Work on the mental health so that we're bringing kids into a healthy paradigm and we are breaking cycles. So, to recap, if you're between 25 and 35, 5 things you should be doing. 1, assess your friendships. 2, assess your romantic relationships. 3, assess your career or your business. 4, forgive yourself and your parents.